Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to do a simple but important question, that how can we measure the function execution time in JavaScript, right? So let's read the problem statement. We'll need to write a utility function which will console log the execution time of the given function. The first argument we will receive in the measure execution time function is the function which we'll need to call. Then the n number of arguments can be given after the first, which we will need to pass to the function, right? And we will need to support both sync and async functions. Okay, and we'll need the console log format is given. We'll need to write the execution time in milliseconds, right? Let's take the example here. There is sync function which is add, which will return us the sum of two numbers, right? And there is async function which is resolving the promise after the given milliseconds, right? So we are calling the measure execution time for both these functions. And if you see the async function, we are passing the delay is 1000 milliseconds. So the execution time can be 1000 or maybe more than 1000, depends on the execution time, but it should not go below 1000 millisecond, right? So let's implement our logic. So the measure execution time will be async function, obviously, because we will need to support async functions, and the first argument we will receive is the function which we will need to call, and the n number of arguments we can receive which we will need to pass to the function being called, right? So here, if you think, what can we use in JavaScript to check the time? So maybe you will think that we can use date.now here, but date.now is not highly resolution format which can give us the time, because the performance.now which can give us the time in microseconds, but date.now give us the time in milliseconds. And also date.now depends on the system clock. If operating system changes the system clock, then our function will not work. It can go forward, it can go backward, but the performance.now does not depend on any system clock. It will always go forward. Okay, so let's use the performance.now here. So what we'll do, we'll check first the start time. Okay, so performance.now is a function which will give us the time in fraction, milliseconds, and also the microseconds, right? So the given function can also throw the error, so we'll need to wrap it around try catch block. Okay, and let me call the function. We'll store it into result. We'll call the function using await because it can be sync or async function. I'll pass out the arguments, right? And I'll need to check the end time once that function is done, right? So I'll check the end time. I'll console log the execution time in the given format. So what's the format here? I'll copy it. Given format is this. I'll need to do math.round here because the performance.now returns the time in fractions. So end time minus start time, right, and the milliseconds. Then I will need to return the result. Same thing I will need to do inside my catch block, right? I will need to check the time. I will need to console log the time, and instead of returning the result, I will throw the error inside my catch block, right? So I think this is the implementation of this measure execution time. So let's check it. Let's test it for the given examples. Okay, so let me console log. What is throwing the error? Oh, I cannot use await here because we are not inside the async functions. So as you can see, the first one is returning me the 1 millisecond, the sync function, and the Second function which we are, which is being called, which is being returned after 1000 millisecond delay, it is returning me the 1002 milliseconds. So this is working fine. So this is it for this video. See you in the next.